Let's dive right into this explainer and tackle that highly specific, super frustrating ache. You know the one. You've tried to describe it to a friend like 100 times, but you just gave up because the words literally weren't there. We are moving fast today, unpacking the actual science of obscure sorrows.
So have you ever felt a feeling you just couldn't name? Picture it. You're lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, or maybe standing on a subway platform at 4 a.m., and this completely nameless emotion just washes over you. You're left totally confused, right? Just completely unable to communicate what's actually wrong.
The source material hits the nail on the head here. It describes these as homeless feelings. They're these specific atmospheres or momentary trances that just don't have an address. Well, we're going to fix that today. We're handing you the exact vocabulary for feelings you already know but have never been able to articulate. Let's get these feelings a home.
Part 1. The Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows.
All right, here is our very first word, xenocide. It's a feeling most of us know way too well as we get older and the years just seem to suddenly flash right by us. It's that terrifying, sinking feeling that time is actually getting faster.
And honestly, think about how surreal and haunting xenocide really is. Imagine being a tiny figure standing in this massive forest of melting candles. It just perfectly captures how impossibly small we are against the rapid melting away of our own timeline. Time absolutely does not care, guys. It just keeps burning.
Okay, moving right along, next up, Vemodalen. This is the fear that originality is basically no longer possible. So the next time you take a photo of a gorgeous sunset or maybe out the window at an airplane wingtip and you feel this hollow pulse of repetition, yeah, that's Vemodalen. You suddenly realize you're just adding to a massive, endless pile of identical, copy-pasted snapshots.
But here's the wild part. Humans have actually been tracing the outlines left by others for millennia. Just think about the overlapping handprints of early humans in a cave. We've literally been doing the exact same thing since the dawn of time. It's kind of the ultimate prehistoric reaction, right?
Moving on, we have Embedo, a momentary trance of emotional clarity. This is that intense, placeless feeling that drifts in like fog when you're just sitting alone with your thoughts. Maybe you're in a parked car, just watching shrubs sway in the wind, completely zoomed out from reality. It's like merging a super mundane cup of coffee with the overwhelming, massive scale of the universe. Imagine a fast camera zooming out from your kitchen table directly into the Milky Way. Boom! That sudden, wild cosmic perspective, that is Embedo.
Next up is a really creepy one, Kenopsia. The eeriness of places left behind. It's that uniquely haunted atmosphere of a school at midnight or, a giant mall during a pandemic lockdown. These are spaces built entirely around human presence, but suddenly there's nobody there. It literally feels like a glitch in the Matrix.
Okay, let's lighten it up a bit with chrysalism, the amniotic tranquility of being indoors during a thunderstorm. Your brain registers the stark contrast of the miserable pouring rain outside, which basically grants you a safe, cozy permission to just exist. It's like drawing a glowing, protective outline right around your house. You are perfectly safe inside the lines.
Part 2. The Theory of Constructed Emotion. Let's look at this cross-cultural study called the Linguistic Mirror of Emotion. It compared American and Chinese viewers. Now, Americans saw distinct expressions that corresponded to 6 basic emotions, while the Chinese viewers showed way more overlap in how they identified facial movements. So what does this tell us? It means our language fundamentally shapes how we carve up and interpret emotions across the entire globe. Crazy, right? So here is the absolute crucial takeaway. Words don't just describe your feelings. They actively help your brain construct them. According to the theory of constructed emotion, your brain uses learned concepts to categorize internal sensations and literally build your reality from the ground up. Basically, if you don't have the word, your brain kinda can't even process the feeling.
Part 3. The Power of Emotional Granularity.
Which brings us to emotional granularity. This is the ability to identify and differentiate among a really wide range of emotional states. Someone with high emotional granularity doesn't just feel this giant, vague, messy cloud of bad. Instead, they feel precisely frustrated, or maybe they feel kenopsia. Just look at the difference. Low granularity says, hey, I'm angry, while high granularity zooms in and specifies, actually, I'm frustrated, or I feel disrespected. Expanding your vocabulary transforms a vague, annoying ache into an exact, manageable psychological coordinate. We are literally plotting our emotions on a map here.
And the science completely backs this up with some massive mental health benefits. Check this out. Higher granularity leads to a lower risk of depression and anxiety, reduced aggression, way less reliance on substance use, and much better adaptive emotion regulation. Seriously, if you can specifically label exactly what you feel, you are vastly better equipped to navigate life's challenges with real resilience.
Part 4. Building your emotional vocabulary. So how do we actually do this? You can build this skill by using emotion wheels and naming exercises. Step 2, start journaling your daily emotional states with really high specificity. And Step 3, actively practice differentiating between similar feelings. Therapists use these exact strategies to turn you into a sharper, way more regulated observer of your own mind. Let's hit one more word to practice all this. Aplasia, the fear that you're no longer able to change. We so often trap ourselves in old identities, just out of low emotional granularity. We feel completely stuck, when in reality, we're actually just experiencing aplasia. Picture a classical bust with a deep, carved-out canyon inside its mind. Like an explorer navigating that chasm, we can always reshape the canyons of our own minds by simply adopting the right words to navigate them. You aren't permanently stuck. You honestly just need a new map. I want to leave you with this absolutely incredible quote from Thomas Carlyle. The illimitable, silent, never-resting thing called time, a thing to strike us dumb, for we have no word to speak about it. Think about that. We've spent our entire history struck dumb by the passing of time and the huge weight of existence simply because we lack the vocabulary.
But hey, not anymore. As you step out of this explainer today, I challenge you to look really closely at your own inner life. What unnamed feeling in your world are you going to define today? Find those missing words, sketch them out in your mind, and finally give your unnameable emotions a home. Thanks for learning with me today.